my beautiful Pisces peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Am from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your mid-January 2023 tarot reading. How are you? I hope you're well. Couple of things I want to note before I start today's video. First things first, I want to say I hope your 2023 has been great. I hope it's been going fantastic. Thank you, by the way, for tuning in and watching this video. I do hope that you find value in it. Another thing that I do want to mention for today's read before we start is that for anybody who's interested in personal services, products, and so much more, feel free to check the link in the description below to my website. Okay, one thing I do want to mention is the only way you can get personal services with me is by checking out my website and purchasing it there at CancerMoonsTarot.com. There is no other way to get readings from me, so please do be mindful. There are many impersonators and scammers on the internet, not just of me, but of many other readers as well on YouTube. We're never going to reach out to you. We're never going to ask, to give you a reading, and we're never going to ask to take your money. So the only way for me, if you want to get a personal service, is through my website below. If you see an impersonator or scammer, please do report and block the individual. And without a further ado, thank you, and let's see what we got going on. Okay, Pisces, welcome on into your mid-January here, and let's see what's going on here for you. So what's going to be showing up here, please, for the zodiac signs of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-January 2023? What information do we got in store here, please, for the lovely zodiac sign of Pisces? Let's go ahead over here and have ourselves a look. Starting out here with the overall energy of the reading, we do begin this reading with a Seven of Swords. Real quick, Pisces, let me just fix something on my computer. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to get like a little notification off of it. But regardless, we're starting this reading here with the Seven of Swords. So, as many of you know, Seven of Swords here is definitely that card in the tarot that a lot of people get a little nervous with when they see it. It's like, okay, who's screwing me over? Who's lying, cheating, stealing? Who's deceiving me? This is the energy of deception at its best. But I do feel like this also could be an energy of guilt. Now, am I feeling that 100% with your situation? Not really. So I do feel like I'm going to have to clarify this card a little bit further to see what's specifically happening here for you. But in the general sense, it can represent deception at play here. It can represent somebody here lying or being dishonest. So we're going to get more information on the Seven of Swords in just a sec, okay? Moving on in, though, into the current situation for you for mid-January. We got here Ace of Wands. We do have here the Queen of Wands. And then we have here the Five of Wands as well. So a lot of fire energy showing up here for you. You could be connecting here with a fire sign like an Aries, Sagittarius, or potentially a Leo. For the current situation, Ace of Wands here to the Queen of Wands, you have a lot of ideas. I definitely feel like you do. And I think that with these ideas that you've had, there's a lot of things you want to create. There's a lot of things you want to explore. There's a lot of new beginnings here that you want to have in your life. Queen of Wands is the energy of self-empowerment. So I do believe that that's where things get a little bit tricky, though, because right next to this Queen of Wands is a Five of Wands. Five of Wands here is a card of conflict. So I do feel as well as not only just conflict, it could be contradiction. So I think that when it comes to terms of you being self-empowered to take on these new beginnings and to actually bring them into reality, that's where you've been having a bit of an issue. It's been hard for you to be able to get motivated, or it's been hard to become empowered enough to the point where you feel like you can get the success you'd like, because it's hard to motivate yourself to get from point A to point B. All right, so that's kind of making more sense in terms of the Seven of Swords here, because Seven of Swords can very well likely be a card of not only external deception, but it can be internal deception as well. So you could be dealing with deception against yourself. All right, is what I'm feeling here for you. So I do think you could be deceiving yourself here, Pisces. Even if that's not your intention, you might be what's standing in the way of your own success. And I do want to go ahead and preface this, by the way, before we continue with the rest of the reading. I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you or trying to, splurge negativity on you. I'm here to see things that, whatever's going on here in the current energies and whatever we can make better, I'm here to talk about that and give advice in the best way that I can. And let me tell you, you're not alone in terms of self-deception, Pisces. You're looking at a self-deceiving master for many years in my life, before I went through my spiritual awakening and my own, personal transformations. I used to deceive myself and stand in the way of my own success for years and years and years of my life until I learned how to change that. So if you are a Pisces and this is resonating so far and it's making sense, stick along throughout the rest of the video and I'll give the best advice and guidance I can here in terms for you to break out of that kind of cycle so that you're not standing in your way and we can get from point A to point B instead. Okay, so looking at that overall energy, I do feel like there is self-deception at play here. Five of Wands, it's frustrating. You've tried to empower yourself. You try to get from point A to point B, but there just seems to be a lot of difficulty making it there. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify. let's have a look at the Five of Wands. Tell me about some of the frustrations Pisces is experiencing. Immediately, we have the Hangman shoot out, which is the card that resonates towards Pisces. So let's talk about that. Hangman showing up here for you. It is the card often that speaks of delays, okay? So it speaks of delays, but at the same time, Hangman can be a card that speaks of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Enlightenment, okay? So that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that there could be enlightenment coming from this as well. So Five of Wands, Hangman, you know, you feel like every time you get so frustrated with what you're trying to do, it ends up putting you into a position of stagnancy. I kind of feel the energy of being overwhelmed. Let's give you an example for a second, Pisces, okay? Let's say you are starting to, or trying to start your own business. You get motivated temporarily, right? You're ready to work. You're ready to get this business going. Ace of Wands is like the business we're talking about here, right? The super duper big passion you have. So let's say you're a Pisces trying to start a business. You start working towards it. You start taking action. Then you notice, right? Well, there's a lot of things I need to do in terms of this business. There's lots of licenses I have to do. I can become an incorporation or an LLC. You know, there's many different types of things I need to do. I got to register for sales tax. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then poof, you're freaking overwhelmed. You're like, well, I wanted to start this business. I was passionate about it. But now that I'm seeing that there's a lot of different obstacles to kind of cover, there's a lot of different things to do. Am I up to the task? Can I really do this? You know, you start to question yourself. And I think that because you get overwhelmed, it becomes very quickly frustration. And the moment you reach that energy of frustration, that's what causes the delay. So your new beginnings have been having a lot of trouble manifesting because of how frustrated you've become, because of how overwhelmed you've been, and that's created stagnancy here with the Hangman card. Now, of course, this is just an example. You don't have to be a Pisces. You're starting a business. You know, this could be anything. Maybe you've been having a lot of frustrations in the term of relationships, right? You are empowered to start a new beginning with someone, but then at the end of the day, maybe trust issues has been a problem for a while. It's been something that's been tough to deal with. And every time you get motivated to trust someone, you know, Five of Wands, here comes in the conflict, here comes in the trust issues, and then the trust issues are what's delaying you from being able to move forward with a new beginning with somebody romantically, of giving somebody a chance in love, giving somebody a shot in love. So this can resonate in many different aspects, but we're focusing on the main point here of what we can do and what we can improve in terms of self-deception, because self-deception is what appears to be the problem in this tarot reading. So once we can correct that, once we can shift to not standing in front of ourselves, not standing in the way, and allowing things to happen so that we can get to this Ace of Wands moment, things are going to be very different here for you, okay? So that's what we have here so far for the current situation and the overall energy. Let's have a look and see at, you know, some of the things here that are coming in here for you regarding your mid-month. So what's coming in here for Piscean? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-January 2023. What are going to be some things coming in here for Pisces? We did have the Two of Wands fall out, so I'll take that card for you. And we also have here the Two of Swords. And then lastly here for you is going to be the King of Cups. So Two of Wands, Two of Swords, King of Cups. All right. So in terms of what I'm seeing here for you, Pisces, Two of Wands and Two of Swords are pretty much the similar card, or both similar energies. It does represent indecisiveness or indecision as a whole. And then King of Cups showing up over here is the card that represents being in a place where you can identify with your feelings, your wants, desires, but also be in a space where not only are you understanding of your feelings, but you're understanding of what you need to do if you're in a position that's a little bit rough. So it feels to me like at times, Pisces, what's going to come in here for you this month is there's going to be times where you feel like you're good emotionally, you're not standing in the way, you're not deceiving yourself, everything's okay, you're inspired, you're motivated, you're ready to go ahead and get to work. But then there's going to be other times where you feel like you don't have your emotions in a grounded space and that it's very hard to be positive or to think positive. So essentially, the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords here and the King of Cups are alluding to the fact that it's not 100% one way or the other all the time. You're not always feeling motivated and good, and other times you are. So because there's that lack of consistency there, that makes it all the more even harder to get to your desired result here with the Ace of Wands, to get to this new beginning. And of course, it creates delays here with the Hangman card. All right, moving along here forward, let's see what Pisces can expect here, please, throughout the rest of their mid-January 2023. What can Piscean expect throughout the rest of their month, please, based upon the energies we've already read? First card out, we have here the Three of Pentacles. Next card out for you, we have here the Hierophant. We do have here the Eight of Swords. And then we have here an Eight of Wands, followed up here with the Ten of Wands. Yeah. So I feel like that cycle is becoming a bit repetitive for you. And I think you're going to start to acknowledge it for sure, because Three of Pentacles, Hierophant, you know, that right there is I'm getting to work. I'm committing to make sure that I get to my goal. Ace of Wands. So basically, these two cards are identifying with I'm going to settle down, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to commit, I'm going to keep a positive morale, and I'm going to do everything I can to make my new beginning a reality. But then here comes in the Eight of Swords. Then you start to overthink, you start to worry, and then that transforms into Ten of Wands, a burden, right? So Eight of Wands is transformation, Ten of Wands is burden. So it literally goes from the 8 to the 8 to the 10. So you're jumping in these numbers over here, right? With these three cards, you're going from overthinking, and that overthinking transforms into burdens. So I think that it's very difficult, and there's a lot of inconsistencies happening here that are preventing you from having your new beginning. Okay, so the main thing to work on here, right? Because I like to always tell people, oh, well, serial chiller, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I do have alerts on, by the way, Pisces. So sometimes you'll see alerts pop up when I'm pre-recording videos because it's connected to my YouTube channel. So if you're watching serial chiller, thank you. Okay. But basically, the main preface of what we're seeing here in this reading, right? The main points here of what we're seeing is we're seeing that you're standing in the way right now with self-deception, and there could be so much positive change happening for you, but because you've been feeling so indecisive and because you've been going back and forth in these energies, it's been very difficult to get to where you want to go. So we're trying to get you unstuck, right? That's my intention here. I see that you're stuck. Let's get you unstuck, right? So we're going to go ahead and take a look now in terms of what the universe has to say. Then I'm going to give you what I have to say. I'll give you some advice and some guidance on what you can do to really navigate out of this situation so that you can have a better outcome overall. We'll close the reading with the outcome based upon this path. But of course, if you want a better outcome, you always have the power to change it, okay? So moving forward here for you, Pisces, let's see what the universe has in store here for us. So what does the universe have here for Piscean? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-January 2023. What does the universe have in store here for the Pisces? First card out, we have here a Four of Wands. Next card out is the Five of Cups. Then we also have here the Death card, followed up here with a Ten of Cups. So, Four of Wands, Five of Cups. Let's go ahead and discuss these two first. Sorry that the cards aren't in full frame. I'm going to move them over in a second. Let me move these two actually so that you can see these cards. All right, so let's start off here with the Five of Cups and the Four of Wands. So Five of Cups is a card that typically resonates towards disappointment, and then Four of Wands is a card that represents stability, happiness, something really working out. You know, the universe here is trying to say, like, if you continue to be disappointed, Pisces, if you continue to resonate with what's not working in your life and, you know, basically allowing the past and all the things you've gone through to dictate your future, you know, you're not going to be able to get to your future. At the end of the day, Piscean, your past will not define what happens tomorrow. What will happen, or more so what will define what happens tomorrow, is what it is you do today. You know, that's what the universe is trying to say. You know, universe here says, like let's go back to that example, Pisces, of trust issues. If you are a Pisces with trust issues, you might find it very difficult to move forward in love with people because those trust issues are consistently resurfacing. So if all those trust issues, let's say the Five of Cups here identifies as trust issues, if you keep having trust issues, you're not going to find here, right? If you don't work through them, you're not going to find the success here in love and romance, because those trust issues are always going to overtake you being able to truly trust someone else. So at the end of the day, universe here says, you know the problem. You know what's holding you back. You know that, and you identify with that, and you have to be willing to work on it here. You have to be willing to heal it in order to get to the better place. Four of Wands. All right, moving forward from these two cards, let's now discuss the Ten of Cups here to the Death card. Pretty much a similar statement here being made from the universe as well. Death card is change and transformation. Ten of Cups is truly fulfilling life, right? So if you want to get to a truly fulfilling life here, Death card to the Ten of Cups, you have to be willing to transform. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to change your mindset, your perspective. You know, you have to be willing to heal through the things right now that are indeed what's holding you back. So pretty similar messages coming from both cards here. So that's in terms of what the universe has to offer here for you. And I'm going to go ahead right now and give you a bit of a rundown on what I can give you in terms of guidance to help you with this specific situation. So I want to give you guys that background a little bit. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, you know, for years, I stood in the way of myself. I stood right in front of me. I constantly doubted myself. I constantly put myself down. You know, I was in a consistent energy of constantly disbelieving that I could do what I wanted to do, or that I can make a new beginning happen, or that I can manifest anything in this world. So I put myself down for many years and I just didn't trust myself or believe in myself. You know, my main problem was that I never felt good enough. And because I never felt good enough, I was never able to get things that were good enough for me. So until I recognized that the problem was not feeling good enough, and until I recognized that me not being good enough was bullshit, I was always stuck. So how did I get unstuck? I started changing my beliefs about myself. I started recognizing that believing that I'm not enough, that didn't come from me. That didn't come from my consciousness. That came from my environment, because I grew up in an environment, and whatever, keep in mind, I'm not mentioning like, my family environment, but other types of environments I grew up in, where I was very much so always put down, and I was always told not to believe in myself. And I was always told that, people have to get lucky in life in order to be successful. And I had that bullshit drilled in my head for years. And when I started changing my beliefs about myself, and I started to say, that's bullshit, I can do anything I want, I believe in myself, and I no longer had limited beliefs, everything in my life started to change. No longer was I standing in the way of myself with those false beliefs about who I was, because they've been cleared. And I was able to manifest the life that I really wanted to start living, and the life that I deserved to start living as well. So Pisces, with that being said, whatever your situation is right now, whether you're dealing with trust issues and it's putting you in a position where it's really hard to love, or, whether right now you're dealing with wanting to start a new business, but you get very frustrated because it feels like you don't have the capability to get everything done or to do everything because it's just so much to do and you're overwhelmed. If you start changing those beliefs about yourself and what you're capable of doing, you're going to see such a massive fucking difference, man. And it's going to be absolutely beautiful in terms of a transformation in your life. Seriously. So I have a lot of belief in you guys. I have so much faith in you guys, and I believe you have the capability to do literally anything. Okay? So if you're a Pisces right now watching this reading, my advice is recognize what you're doing right now that's standing in the way of your success. Identify the problem. Change your beliefs about the problem. Really work towards not allowing that problem to become repetitive in your life, which means no longer reinforce the problem, and change the problem. Lastly, right? Start completely transforming the way, completely transforming the way, Pisces, that you view your situation. Change the beliefs about your situation. Change the beliefs about who you are. And in due time, the more you keep changing these beliefs and the more you keep working towards the desired outcome, Ace of Wands, that you want to get towards, the more closer to success you'll get there, or you'll get towards, okay? The more closer you'll be to success. Thank you. I cannot speak sometimes, all right? Now, that's a belief that I need to change about myself. You see how that works? I need to change that about myself. I'm a very good speaker. I'm a talented speaker, okay? So yeah, Pisces, that would be my best form of guidance that I can give you. And it is very similar to what the universe was saying as well, but I broke it down more. And I definitely, went into a little bit of a story there too, to hopefully have a better understanding here of what's being said. So, I think you're looking at a really great potential for a month. You're looking at a potentially really amazing month. And you really do have this power, Pisces, to get to your desired goal. You do have this power to remain empowered and to not be distracted or delayed here with the Hangman to the Five of Wands. And there doesn't have to be inconsistencies here. The only reason there is inconsistencies is because whatever problem you're facing that's allowing you to stand in the way of yourself is on repeat. It has not been removed. And because that problem is being reinforced and repetitive over and over and over again, that's why you find yourself often stuck in this cycle. All right? All right, Pisces. Let's go ahead and jump to the outcome, and I think we'll close it off here. Okay? So what's going to be the overall outcome here, please, for the zodiac sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-January 2023? What's going to be the overall outcome here for Pisces? And what do we have? We have here the Four of Cups. I like it because Four of Cups here says some things are meant to be ignored. At the end of the day, what's meant to be ignored over here, what's meant to be ignored is that Seven of Swords. It's bullshit. This is the energy of lying to yourself. This is the energy of your environment maybe planted a seed in your mind years ago, or maybe in your mind throughout childhood, but your environment planted this negative seed. And guess what? That negative seed grew, and it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and then now it's repeatedly getting fed, with the mindset that you have. And if you keep on telling yourself you can't do it, you'll never do it. If you keep on telling yourself, Pisces, that you're not enough to do something, you're not going to be enough to do something. The stories you tell yourself are what manifest in your realm of reality. So with that being said, Four of Cups, it's time to ignore that same old story. It's time to ignore the Seven of Swords, and it's time to make a shift and change actually happen here. Okay? I love you. You have the power to do this. You have the power to change your life, and you have the power to improve your situations and meet your goals and have success in this world, Pisces. So I do look forward to your transformation. I do look forward to you guys just moving in a really positive direction here this month. And I hope that the guidance and advice that I shared here with you today is valuable and beneficial. And I hope that it helps spark that wonderful new journey that you guys are getting ready to set foot on. Okay? I love you, Pisces, so much. Shout out to my fish. I love the Pisces peeps, and I will catch you all in the next video. If you are new here and you are interested in subscribing to the channel, feel free to. I'm more than happy to welcome you here into the soul family. But Pisces, have a great rest of mid-January, and I'll see you guys later. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.